To this story now, two JMPD officials implicated by whistleblower Sarika Lakraj Naidu are today set to testify in her ongoing disciplinary hearing. Now, this follows the 53 million procurement of a pound that was found to be unfit for purpose. Gift Zondo, JMPD's facilities manager, and eNCA, its deputy finance director, authorized the payment, violating the Municipal Finance Management Act. Lakraj Naidu, the City of Joburg's finance director in the Public Safety Department, was suspended and charged with gross misconduct. To unpack this, I'm joined by the South African Municipal Workers Union's treasurer, that's Karabo Ramahuma. Karabo, good morning and thank you very much for your time. You know, this story is quite complex. Before we get to Ms. Naidu's disciplinary hearing, talk to us about the issues she had flagged relating to the two individuals that are now testifying against her.
Maybe let me say good morning to the listeners of E. Maybe the issue of Ms. Naidu it's just a tip in the iceberg. It's generally what has been happening in the city of Johannesburg, and you'd find a concerted effort from some in senior management to protect such individuals. You'd find a situation where such who dare to raise these issues are given special attention by the management. But strange enough, you'll find a known situation where we know that this official, for instance, is not qualified to dealing with the city's finances. Is allowed to. I'll give you an example. Look at what is happening at JRA. You have an MD who's been masquerading as a doctor, only that he has an honorary degree from a college that deals with ministries, nothing to do with roads, nothing to do with engineering. He has lied to that he has an engineering degree, while he only has a diploma. That does not qualify him to be there. So we would not be surprised that we would find such large scale of unauthorized expenditure, wasteful, and. But the other thing is, you know, we have a very excited administration. When this administration took over, they said members must, they said to officials that they must just spend, they must just be seen to be working, resulting in a situation where obviously we would have expenditure that is not budgeted for, expenditure that becomes wasteful. And
Mr. Ramahuma, so I just want, for the benefit of our audience, to perhaps take an informed position beyond this point once they've heard the facts of this matter. Because as it stands right now, from somebody who would have just read this article on News 24, it looks like you've got a whistleblower that is being persecuted in a country that is riddled with corruption. So I just want context for our audience. Ms. Naidu is being charged for doing what exactly? That's
the issue, and that's not the first time. You know, that's the issue that perplexes us as a union. She was charged previously, came back again. So you can see that it's something that tells us that there would be people that she's making uncomfortable. We are off as a union, and we are of a firm view that she's the only reason she's being charged is because she blew the whistle. You see, in the city, they can charge you for misplacing 20 rand and leave somebody who wastefully spent 20 million. And that's basically what she's going through. There's nothing special about special circumstances about her case. She's just been silenced.
But that would be very concerning, honestly, because we all know the impact of corruption, what it's done, the money that has been siphoned out of our public purse. Now, if you're going to have a whistleblower or would-be whistleblower, just go through this particular story where you have Ms. Naidu flagging certain payments and saying this was wasteful expenditure. Then after that matter is concluded, she just merely asked for an investigation. They conclude the matter. And then the two individuals that she has accused are then now brought in to testify against her. And we understand that the claims, at least from one of the witnesses, is that she lied about them, saying that they called her a racist.
Look, maybe there would be those side allegations, but I'm just saying to you, welcome to City of Johannesburg. This is how this administration operates. This is how things have been happening. And I'll tell you, you can just ask the city for a simple record of where they've done consequence management that relates to wasteful expenditure. You'll never find such, but you'll find a case of maybe a bus driver who was late for a shift, being persecuted, even being tried with lawyers, and But people like Ms. Pillay, who then raise these things, who should at all material times, and this is the stance of South African Municipal Workers Union, that at all material times we should be there and would always be there. We know too that we have a team of shop stewards that we have assigned to a case to defend her in this persecution of trying to unmask this rot that is happening in the city of Johannesburg. She's maybe let's just say she may be the required firelighter. There are people who should be sort of investigated, having done all these wrong things that are known. In the city of Johannesburg, you find a person whom it's known that this person is not qualified, actually was dismissed by another municipality for falsified qualification, but you find those people being put at the helm of the public purse in the city of Johannesburg. For instance, you go to a group corporate schedule. There was one Anele Kwababa now charged by SPCSA for having falsified qualifications, but she's a group head. You go to development planning, there's a director there dealing with advertising. He has confessed in an investigation that he falsified his qualifications and had to be disciplined by Ekurhuleni municipality. He ran away and gets away to a hive of criminals in the city of Johannesburg, where we would continue to have such people where when issues like this are raised, especially by straightforward employees, especially by the union, we get persecuted. So we are not surprised, but all what we want to say is that through thick and thin be on her side, and we encourage all other members to be doing as she has done. We know it's difficult, We have an internal forensic investigation unit in the city of Johannesburg, for instance, and when you get there, you get issues to be reported based on who's close to which manager and all that. Investigations, either the reports are withheld, either there's no consequence management. That's why I'm saying we would be with her, we would support her, and would support any other employee who dares to come forward, especially to expose the malfeasance and the rot that we know that it's been happening in front of us,
But it's scary because you sound defeated. When you just say, welcome to the city of Joburg, this is what happens, then it's clearly a problem because you guard the interests of employees. And if you're defeated, then what next defense does she have in this instance?
We are by no means defeated. They know too. We are by no means defeated. Actually, throughout, even in the first time when she was persecuted, it was the same South African Municipal Workers Union that represented her. Even now, we still are. And the reason that they can't move forward in terms of eliminating her from the system is because we are there. We can never be defeated by criminals. We will never negotiate with them. We will just do what is written in the law, what is by the book. You see, we have a situation here, and we are just saying, when I say welcome to City of Johannesburg, we have a situation where there's country regard for the law. Any other report, be it judicial or internal, that has got remedial action is not followed. In the same department where she is, you have a certain David Tembe, whom the public protector has resolved and said the remedial action should be that he was paid the 5 million unduly because he was not supposed to be there. It's the same public safety department. Guess what? When they came back, now re-energized in a different form, this administration, they rewarded that same person who owes the city of Johannesburg 5 million by making him the MMC of that department. We speak to you like this today. David Tembe, who owes city of Johannesburg 5 million, is being driven by a city of Johannesburg car. Is being poured petrol by city of Johannesburg car, is being serviced by officials, and he gets all the benefits and he still gets paid, but he has not paid that one. So when we say welcome to city of Johannesburg, we are just saying to you, the media, that sometimes when we say we are in a situation where people don't regard the law, we are calling upon you as also responsible role players in the society to continually assist us increase this malfeasance. Because you see, one thing that this administration does, it spends a whole lot of money on especially social media. They are a clean government only on Twitter. That's the only place where they are clean. They are responsible, accountable government that works for residents and workers alike only on Twitter. That's where they have a platform unhindered to lie to society. But come to City of Johannesburg, you don't have to scratch the surface too hard. You will find all the malfeasance glaring at you. That's what we are saying. But to say we are defeated, we can never be defeated by such. We will do all what we have. If it means we must take these matters to the highest court in the land, we will do that, like it has happened with Ms. Pillay. She was previously fired. She came back via a process that included us taking the matter to the labor court. So we are just not barbaric. So if it requires us to follow the law, we will follow the law. And you know, one thing that we must also say, remember, as South African Municipal Workers Union, as we fight for this, we fight against these things. It goes deep into our pairs, because we sometimes have to institute legal action. Sometimes we have to defend our members against a city that does not care, because it's not theirs directly. It's the public pairs that they use willy-nilly for lawyers, even on frivolous issues like the one that we are speaking about currently.
No, you know what? Thank you very much for your time. We must certainly reach out to the city to get some context around this case and what exactly she's charged for. But that was Karabo Ramahuma, South African Municipal Workers Union Treasurer in Gauteng.